cannot. Akpabio, you cannot. Order 43, you cannot. Order 43, you cannot. No, order 43. Order 43, you cannot. Order 43. You cannot. The point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
The dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice. A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege has been
that allows suspension immediately.
Or refer.
One and two of our standing rules. Distinguished colleagues, the issue here is to maintain order in the way we do our business. But we must also recognize the right of every senator here to speak for himself and the people he's representing. So in doing so, I just want to appeal that there's no need for this bickering. Now, if you read... Who started it? It cannot function. This will not function if you want it this way. If you want us to go, we'll leave. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Akpabio.
The harassment I got today from your desk was totally unnecessary. And
Senator Akpabio, let me first correct one. Before you started to speak, I'd asked, before you finish, no, let me correct. I asked the clerk. I asked the clerk whether he allocated that seat to you. He said he didn't. The clerk is here. Clerk, respond.
yeah. Mr. President, distinguished senators, if you remember last week when he came, he wanted a seat, and I allocated, I said he can sit where former Senator Dino was sitting before, because there was microphone there. So on the second time he came, he told me he would prefer to sit here. So I said there is no microphone there, but he said he would still prefer to sit there. So when he came this morning, and I was busy here when they said to me that he wants to sit there, I said he can sit there. That was what happened.
Senator Akpabio, the point I was saying to you, if you had waited, was that there was no microphone in that place, and you should move. That is why I'm now, as you are now the point, you're going to carry on.
Mr. President, with due respect, all I expect from this Senate today is a letter of apology. It's an apology to me, not even by way of letter, even verbal apology. Yes. I represent a constituency. I know my contributions to Nigeria. If the clerk of the Senate has authorized that I should sit here, and I was so embarrassed here today, we cannot run the Senate on a partisan basis. We must be bipartisan.
Senator Akpabio, it's not being partisan. You are sitting in a place where there's no microphone. We do not allow people to speak. All you had to do was to move to a place. So now that in a place of microphone, you can go ahead and speak, and then we make progress. Yes.
Even PDP apologized to Nigerians. What is the big deal?
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the President of the Senate has agreed that I require an apology, and maybe that will be discussed later. But let me say, Mr. President, all I am asking for is for every senator to be given the same right.
You are given the same right. There's no senator that is allowed to speak if there's no microphone. So that means there's nothing new. We have resolved that issue. There's no senator that is allowed to speak if there's no microphone. So there's nothing that has been done to you that is different to anybody. All I said, go to a place where there's a microphone, you can speak. You cannot speak from a place where there's no microphone. And no senator has been allowed to speak in this chamber from where there's no microphone. Distinguished colleagues, let us make progress on issues that are important. These issues that if there's been a senator that have allowed to speak without a microphone, state. That's never happened in this chamber. All we said is there's no microphone where you are. Go to a place where there's and you can speak. Now you have the floor, speak, and let us make progress.
In view of the situation of the Senate today, I want to apologize to my colleagues if I raised my voice earlier, and to say that until the Senate is well reconstituted and the sitting arrangements well arranged, I want to hold my peace. Thank you for the opportunity.
Leader of the Senate.
The point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
The dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice. A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege
has been... Show me the session that allows suspension immediately.
Or refer... Take it. I do not hear being silenced.
Any petitions?
of the Senate. Leader of the Senate. Yes, point of order. The order.
Point of order, sir. I'm coming under Order 14, privilege. During a period when, okay, maybe 10, let me see 10. Okay, Order 10, privilege. Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without a notice. A motion declaring that the content or breach of privilege has been committed, or referring the matter to the Committee of Ethics and Privilege. But if the matter is raised in Committee of the Oath, the Senate, the chairman shall leave the chair to report progress. Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier this morning, before our sitting, there was an uproar in the chamber over the change of seat. Just as Senator Issa Jubri pointed out, the Senate President has the power to change seat at any time without even notice. Even as the chairman of Senate Services, you don't need to even tell me before you change seat if you want to. And in fact, when I came in, one or two senators complained, and I explained to them. It was not.
Use your mic so that we can hear you.
When I came in this morning, the first person that came to me about change of seat was Senator Samson Ekon, that he wanted a seat, and that seat has been reallocated to somebody else. I said, be patient. I don't even know about this arrangement you are talking of. But before you know, sir, Senator Natasha shouted my name all over the place. I'm sure my name is in the media for negative reason today. My upbringing, I will not shout at any woman. So I didn't reply her. I kept quiet. But I want to say my privilege has been breached. And that shouldn't be in an assembly of this nature. We don't need to blackmail ourselves. And when she came into this place, we took her in like myself and Senator Jubri, we extended the hands of fellowship upon her. In fact, we lobbied you too much to ensure that the chairmanship that was vacated by Senator Ohere was given to her. We know what we did to achieve that. So when she shouted my name and said all those negative things this morning, I just thank God that I calmed down and I kept silent. What you have done, you have the power to do it, and you have no, you did it at the best interest of the Senate. I don't know why this place will be turned to turn upside down because of that. So I will want her to at least come out and apologize to us because of her behavior this morning. Thank you, sir.
A senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate. But no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when his leave to be made is sought. Your Excellency, I want to, before I proceed with this explanation, I want to refer to Order 6. Order 6 says, the President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator. Okay? A senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time. Your Excellency, an incident happened this morning that involved one of the senators from Kogi East, Senator Natasha Akpabio Uduaga. I want to talk on this because I am also from Kogi East, and I feel concerned. The movement of the senators, the recent movement of the senators is attributable mainly to the defection of Senator Ned Nwoko and Ezenwa. And as a result of that, there was a need to reallocate the seats accordingly. So the Senate President did what is expected of him, but the reaction from my colleague senator from Kogi State this morning is uncalled for. I want to sincerely apologize on behalf of the Kogi Caucus to the Senate President and the entire Senate that this will not repeat itself again under any other scenario. It will not repeat itself again. We're going to counsel her, we're going to talk to her. This is the Senate. We are here guided by the laws. The others here are there to guide all of us, and everybody is subjected or should be subjected to the others' hearing. On behalf of the Kogi Caucus, once again, Mr. President, I want to apologize to you. I want to apologize to the entire members of the Senate here present today that you should please allow this case to die here. We don't want you to escalate it to the invocation of any order that may be applicable under this scenario. I so submit. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Did you come under? Okay. Well, your submission is noted. Yes.
Coming under the combined force of Order 6, Rule 2, Rule 2A, subject to the permission of the President of the Senate, I will read the orders.
Please read.
Order 24, 2A. Order 24 stipulates the duty of the chief whip, and it reads thus: there shall be a chief whip of the Senate. The chief whip shall be a senator nominated from the party with the highest number of seats in the Senate. And 2A said, the chief whip shall maintain order and decorum in the Senate. The duty of the chief whip is to maintain order and decorum. So pursuant to the jurisdiction conferred on the office of the chief whip, for which the chief whip is desirous of invoking the powers of that office, I will proceed to read Order 6, Rule 2, on page 9 of our rules books. Order 6, Rule 2. Order 6 states, the President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator. 6.2, a senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time.
Please
Mr.
read that again.
Okay.
Is that the President of the Senate
The
shall
President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator.
Yes.
And it went further to state that a senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided that the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time. So it is at the discretion of the President of the Senate, as circumstances warrant, to change seats as time goes on, based on circumstances that may crop up in the course of the proceedings of the Senate. And in the course of the proceedings of the Senate, 2 senators from the PDP, that is Senator Ned Nwonko.
Which faction of PDP?
Eh?
Which faction?
And
Senator Dixon's faction. Akpabio.
and also Senator Francis Ezenwa of the Labour Party also decamped to APC, thereby necessitating their movement from the other side to this side, thereby creating vast spaces in the opposition side. And then pursuant to that, and in the exercise of the powers conferred on the Senate President, pursuant to Order 6, Rule 2 and 2A, the President of the Senate decided to rearrange this seat, giving directives to the Chief Whip to exercise that function. And pursuant to that directive, seats were reallocated. And I was surprised to report that Senator Natasha, having given another seat, refused to vacate her former seat in flagrant violation of our rules. So I am craving for, ordinarily I don't want to bring it to the attention of the Senate, but now that Senator Natasha insisted on staying on her former seat in spite of the rearrangement of the seat, I am craving for indulgence to resume the seat that has been lawfully allocated to her pursuant to the provisions of our rules, and in the exercise of the powers conferred on the Senate President to resume her new seat. If not, the Senate President may decide to exercise the powers conferred on him not to allow her to contribute to any debate from that seat, thereby depriving her constituency of a voice. Thank you.
I hope the renovation will not turn us into South African Parliament, where you hear Malema, 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 sit down, Malema, sit down, Malema, sit down. And that is because we know how the electronic system ought to work. I recall that in the 8th Senate, I had almost a similar issue where seats were reallocated as a result of movements. And I also moved at that time. So when I came into the chambers, they gave me a different seat. The next day they gave me a different seat. The third day they gave me a different seat. So I also voiced out my anger. And I said, what is going on here? And then the Senate President was able to control. So everything I said did not get out to the public. And so social media had nothing to feast on. So unfortunately, we need to go back to our old microphone system so that people will not speak out of order and then speak when they are not recognized. So I apologize on behalf of the contractor who did this. Now, the distinguished Senator Abamoro actually mentioned this issue because we are not the judiciary. But he said that it's something that is capable of bringing crisis to the government and the people of Benue State. So I think is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed with the motion
under Order 41 and 51. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator, I didn't hear your voice. Eh? So you may proceed because we are not the judiciary. But he said that is something that is capable of bringing crisis to the government and the people of Benue State. So I think is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed with the motion under Order 41 and 51? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator, I didn't hear your voice. Eh? So you may proceed.